Welcome to the Integrate This EdTech podcast. I'm Jeremy Mikla, and I am joined here today by CEO of ShareAcart, Ed Kozek.
Thank you.
And Ed, we're really happy to have you on the show here today.
Thanks,
and to share a little bit about some of the really cool things that I think ShareAcart is doing, and I hope you can kind of enlighten the audience here a little bit too, and tell them ways that they can take advantage of it. But just a little bit here, with more and more federal cuts to school budgets looming in the horizon for schools and districts. Combine that with a lot of schools, especially like in our area, we're experiencing in rural Minnesota declining enrollments. Schools are being forced to look for more ways to maintain that fiscal health and to reduce a lot of the inefficiencies that they're seeing within their budgets, and making sure that the dollars that they do get are going to things that are going to be helping their students. And I think ShareAcart helps to provide kind of a unique opportunity for schools and districts to be able to kind of modernize and engage in a collaborative procurement process, which we'll get into. But the platform also focuses on reducing some of the bottlenecks that school districts might have.
It's primarily what we do, yes.
Yeah, right. And by implementing, digital workflows with seamless purchasing loads. And so, Ed, why don't you start out by kind of telling us a little bit about ShareAcart and what brought you here to ISTE today?
Sure, thank you very much for having me. The company's been around since about 2018 in one form or another. It was originally founded by a co-founder of mine, who built it to basically let two households share an Amazon account without sharing everything about the account. So he was going through a divorce. His kids went with the wife. He agreed, you can buy stuff for the kids whenever you want. His wife had access to his Amazon account, and years later, when he got remarried, his new wife wasn't so happy with that. So he was a coder and a hacker, and at night he built a simple browser extension that let his ex-wife create a cart. She could shop on Amazon just as she normally would, and the product would create a link to that cart that's shareable that she could then send to him. He could click on the link, and all the things that were in her cart gets loaded in his. He could just press buy, and that was how the product got founded. He put it up on the extension store for free on the Chrome extension store, and people started using it. He wasn't monetizing it, he just kind of did it for fun. And now we have over 300,000 monthly active users. About a third of those work in education. About a third work in small businesses, and a third are people who use it for personal reasons. Really, the way it helps schools is, you guys probably know this, but the purchasing process at schools is pretty antiquated and manual. And often what happens, I've talked to a million of these people, you have some poor admin or secretary or a small purchasing department who's in charge of doing purchasing for an entire school or an entire department. And this person is fielding requests all day long from different schools, different departments, different teachers for supplies that they need. And this admin usually has to spend some time translating this list into something purchasable. So they may get an email with a bulleted list of 20 items. It could say Post-it notes, it could say pens, and she's got to go back and forth and say, what color Post-it notes, what size, how many do you need them lined or not, etc. So this allows the person who needs something to shop exactly as as if they were going to buy it themselves. On any online retail site, create a link to that cart and just copy that link and send it over to the purchasing person. Again, they can click on it, and everything that the teacher wants gets loaded into their cart, and the admin can just press buy. So we save, on average, we hear about an hour or two per order for these admins. So for those folks, it's a real silver bullet. We have some real heavy purchasers. We have one guy in California who supports a state grant that supports after-school programs. He supports 12 schools. He's got 5 people working for him who just do purchase coordinating. He buys $80,000 of goods every week across dozens of different purchases. So we save him and his team an hour or two per order. That really adds up to a lot of time.
Yeah, so that's great. So I can definitely see where the tie-in is here for how it definitely helps make more efficient use of administrative assistants or even business office people that have to deal with the purchasing and the coding and everything that goes along with that. But the classroom teacher, how does it benefit the classroom teacher when perhaps they're maybe looking at supplies that they need for their classroom?
Well, I think the back and forth sort of exacts a toll on both parties, right? If they send a list to the purchasing agent and they've got to go back and forth and interrupt the teacher and take up their time to figure out exactly what they want, we're saving them time there. But really who we're helping are these administrative staff whose job it is to manage these processes.
And I was reading on the website that you still offer the Chrome extension.
Yes.
But there's also going to be, or there is, an integration into Google Classroom.
Yes, we have this functionality that I described already is available for browser extensions for all the major browsers. Also, we have Android and iPhone apps as well. But we do have a Google Classroom plugin. We have about 3,000 installations of it currently that allow teachers to build a list of classroom supplies that the students in their class might need. So they can use our product again to build a link to these supplies, and then they can use Google Classroom to send out an email to parents and or students in their classes with this list of things that they need. So it kind of saves them time and lets them kind of put inside of a system.
So if a teacher had something that they needed and they sent that out to through the students to their parents, the parents could see, oh, I see that we need 12 boxes of Kleenexes or whatever, and then they're able to go through and choose. I want to be able to help provide that, knowing that it's going to, help save the district money in the long run, but it also is providing those things that they know that they need in their child's classroom.
Exactly. And also at the beginning of the school year, if there's a list of supplies that the student needs to bring to the class, for the year, they can use it for that as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned in your initial story about Amazon, and Amazon being one of the vendors, the companies that you would work with. Do you have others that you work with that they could go on and engage in their online shopping?
It's pretty much any online store you can think of, we support. We have 300 direct integrations, and then we also support every Shopify store and every Magento store, every big commerce storefront. So pretty much anyone online we support right now. And also the product is localized into about 16 different languages, so we support not just English speakers, but other folks as well.
That's fantastic. And I see it as a parent too, just knowing that I could do something to help support the teacher of my kids.
Yeah.
And having been a teacher in the classroom myself, I could see it as, I don't have to send out, another letter saying, please send this in. And from my perspective, it seems like it would streamline that process quite a bit.
I think it does, and not just that. We help schools save money too. So we will offer price comparison checks as well. So if a teacher shops on Amazon, they send an Amazon link to the admin, and the admin clicks on that link. If we can find cheaper prices at Walmart or some other vendor that the school buys from, we'll surface that to them and say, hey, you can save $20 if you order through here instead.
And that sounds like one way to help kind of prevent some otherwise what might be wasteful spending. But are there other things that you're seeing or data that you're able to use to help be able to prevent wasteful spending in other ways by schools and by families?
I think, one thing that's a sort of answer to your question, I was looking at our data this morning, and I saw something that really surprised me. That we've got data going back from up until 2022 until now 2026, and I have seen an increase in the price of school supplies of 64% since 2022. That's on average per item. So average per item, all the stuff that we see in people's carts has gone up 64%. That's more than groceries. We saw groceries go up 56%. It was the second highest increase of all the categories we track. So, saving money is really, really important, and we'll surface this data when we can and use this data to drive feature development like this feature that I just told you about, the price comparison.
Cool. Tell us about a time maybe when a teacher kind of surprised you with how they used your product.
Oh yeah, we have a good one. I've got a bunch of stories, but there was this one teacher at Grand Rapids Community College, I think. He had a really cool class. He was teaching cooking, how to make quick and healthy meals to health professionals who worked in pediatric intensive care units, because their job is really stressful. They don't have a lot of free time. They usually eat junk because in between shifts. So he had I think it was a 12-class session where he just basically came up with a meal plan and taught them how to cook really quick, easy, inexpensive meals at home. And they used ShareAcart. He used ShareAcart to create a link to all the food that you would need to support that meal plan, and he would send it to all the students at the end of the class and say, here's how you can easily buy these things that we just taught you how to cook. So it's a nice, heartwarming story about how someone used us.
Right, and I could totally see how, You mean you're going to make it so easy for me that you're going to give me the list of everything that I need?
Exactly.
And then I just hit one click and I can buy it all.
And it's all there. It's all there, exactly.
And then it gets delivered to me, and then I'm able to make those healthy meals because you taught me how to do those.
Yep, exactly.
Fantastic. I'm sure what you get is a lot of feedback too from users. How do you take the feedback that you get from users and implement it to turn around to make the product even better?
Yeah, I mean, in a couple ways. So there was the price comparison feature. We recently also launched a product we're calling Deals for Schools. So if you log into our into ShareACart with a school email address, we will give you kind of a new screen, which we call Deals for Schools, which will show you deals that either are available only to teachers or that that are related to school supplies that a school might need. So we're trying to find ways to save our users even more money, and even more exciting, we just launched some AI skills and plugins, so you can plug ShareACart into whatever AI model you use, Claude, ChatGPT, and others, and then build a cart using conversational AI without even having to go to, say, Amazon or Walmart or school specialty or discount school supply. You can even, I even tried this morning, you could upload a lesson plan and the AI will read it and say, here's what you need to teach this lesson plan. Do you want me to build a list for you? You say yes, and they say, how many kids in your class? You say 24. They say, how old are they? You say, this age. They say, okay, great. Where do you want to buy it from? And then it will automatically generate a list. It will show you the list. You say, this looks good, and it will just give you a ShareACart link that you can then share with your purchasing department.
Fantastic. So
It's amazing.
You're leveraging AI and then asking it, well, what am I not thinking of? What am I missing? Because I've got this list of classroom supplies and I forgot to put scissors on it.
Yep, I asked it today. I said, I pretended I'm an elementary school science teacher and I want to build a volcano in the classroom with my kids. And it said, oh, do you want to use a kit or do you want to do it yourself? Okay, great. Do you already have vinegar and baking soda, or do you want me to add that to the list as well? These are things I never would have thought of.
Right.
So it was like just amazing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So you've given us a lot of great reasons why a teacher, an educator, a school administrator would find very beneficial about using ShareACart. How do they get started?
Oh, just go to shareacart.com. There will be links right there to download the product. The other thing which I didn't mention, which schools love, is that the product is free. Like, there is no hidden cost. This isn't free for a period of time and then we'll charge you later on. We make money via like affiliate commissions, just like a review site would. So if any of these items get purchased, sometimes the retailer will pay us basically a very small commission for referring that customer to them. It doesn't increase the price for our users at all. And this is a very common practice in the industry. So again, the product is free, frictionless. You don't even have to sign up to use it. But if you do, you get a few extra features like a dashboard and some analytics and auditing and approval capabilities.
Sure. And I know one of the things too that a lot of schools that we work with are very concerned with is the privacy of the data that you collect too. Is that data stored in a way that could be shared out to other third-party vendors, or is it something that you protect and you keep safe and as long as you need it?
Yeah, we protect and keep it safe. It even says on our homepage, we will not sell your data in any way. We have gotten requests from other companies, hey, do you license out your data? Can we sell it? It's kind of valuable because it shows purchase intent and purchase trends over time. But we haven't ever done it. And in fact, as I said before, you can use the product for free without even giving us any personal information. You don't have to give us your email or anything. You can just download it and start using it, and you'll get basically all the features for nothing.
That's great, Ed. I'm kind of thinking about it. I have a kid in college.
I used it for my son in college.
And I'm thinking that might be something that we need to explore.
Yes, when he goes off when he's at school and he needs stuff, he just creates a list and sends it to me.
And hey, why not put grandma and grandpa on that list of people receiving 100%. It too, right?
100%.
So I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing more about ShareACart with us. Yeah. Is there anything else before we wrap it up here that you would like to shout out or to draw attention to and let our listeners know more about?
I think we love feedback, so if you give the product a try, and I hope you will, we're very responsive, so please let us know, drop us a note on feedback@shareacart.com, and we would love to. We're very quick. We can also iterate your suggestions into the product very quickly. We're a small startup, and we appreciate any support you can give us.
Yeah, well, thanks, Ed. We'll make sure to include the links to ShareACart and the information that you shared with us here today. And we look forward to maybe bumping into you again here at the conference.
I hope so. Awesome. Thanks a lot. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.